Complicated, controversial, hideous, those are just a few of the words that have been used to describe Minnesota's state flag. But as Delane Cleveland reports, by this time next year, that flag could be nothing more than a footnote in history.
Overlooking Highway 100 in Golden Valley is Minnesota's state flag. It depicts the imagery found on the state seal of a farmer working in the field and a Native American on horseback, but it's not something many would consider as iconic.
Honestly, not much comes to mind when I think of the current state flag.
In fact, State Representative Mike Freiberg says the flag is not only boring, but problematic.
It was designed very deliberately to depict white farmers displacing Native Americans. So it's just not something that's distinctive. It's not something that we should, that at least I'm proud of.
It's one of the reasons why Freiberg sponsored a bill, which passed during this year's session, to redesign the state flag and state seal by the end of the year.
I was very excited that it passed. I mean, I'd rank it as one of the top accomplishments I've had as a legislator because it's something I think everyone will see and a lot of people are aware of.
The process of coming up with a new design will now be in the hands of a 13-member task force that, once appointed, will spend the rest of the year coming up with a design that Freiberg hopes will make Minnesotans proud.
I'm hoping it'll be a transparent, open process with lots of opportunities for public comment. I think it's really important to hear from people.
The website Minnesotans for a Better Flag has more than a dozen designs created by various artists that are likely to be submitted once the public comment period opens. Whether any of these designs is chosen as the winner remains to be seen.
You know, blue stripes or...
But in Freiberg's mind, the important thing is that the current flag will be replaced once and for all.
My hope is that it'll be a symbol that people are proud of, that people use to identify the state, because I don't believe the current state flag actually does that.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
In Maple Grove, the city is working to help replace a restaurant that abruptly closed. Wahlburgers closed in late May. According to city officials, the city was not given notice ahead of time, nor a reason for the closure. It was founded by the celebrity Wahlberg brothers. This restaurant opened in early 2020 to a great deal of fanfare, but several locations across the country have recently closed. The Maple Grove location is owned by Hy-Vee. City officials say they're hopeful the space becomes another restaurant, and they say it is a, quote, prime location. In New Hope, the city's neighborhood restaurant and pub now has new owners. Pub 42 was sold recently after the previous owner decided to retire. The sale brought concern from some council members about what could happen to the restaurant, but those concerns seem to be relieved. The two new owners also operate 4 other restaurants, including the Loop Minneapolis and the Loop in the West End. A popular Maple Grove restaurant now has a new name, some new menu items, and other new amenities. This weekend, we go inside Paulie's, which is banking on the concept of entertainment-based dining. Once again, here is Delane Cleveland.
3, 2, 1.
This spring marked a new beginning for the restaurant formerly known as Rock Elm at the Grove. The establishment is now called Paulie's and fulfills a longtime vision for co-owner Paul Saratori.
So Paulie's is a dream for me. I'm from the East Coast. I worked in restaurants growing up, always wanted to have one. I know my late father always wanted a restaurant, never came to fruition for him.
At first glance, Paulie's looks like your typical American sports bar. But it now has an Italian-influenced menu that includes pizza and pasta.
Myself and my executive chef, we worked hard on developing a crust that is like no other. It carries flavor throughout with seasoning the whole dough instead of just the toppings.
Yet food and drinks aren't the only features of this restaurant. Paulie's is also a full-blown entertainment-based dining experience.
The technology is awesome, the experience is great, the golf courses on here are second to none.
Julian Ramirez works with Saratori at their other business venture, Optimal Performance Golf. They wanted to bring that same sports simulator experience to Paulie's. Customers can play 14 different games on 2 simulators, from golf to baseball to zombie dodgeball.
We're doing something together here where we can create a great experience for customers and have fun.
A fun experience that Saratori knows would get the stamp of approval from his father.
I'm sure he's looking down on me right now and smiling and just being my biggest supporter.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Golden Valley plans to ask for more money from the state to help build a new fire station. The city received $3 million in this year's bonding bill to buy property and design the new station. And next year, the city plans to ask for another $7 million from the state to help pay towards construction costs. That would be about half of the total construction cost. With the new station, the fire department wants to switch from paid on-call staffing to a full-time crew. And that means firefighters would be at stations 24/7. And SEEP in Brooklyn Center is making sure all children have a chance to celebrate their birthday. The organization is giving out birthday parties in a bag to parents who pick up food assistance. Birthday bags come with a birthday cake or cupcakes, candles, decorations, and enough party favors for as many as 8 kids. Parents can call ahead to ask for a bag when they come to pick up their groceries.
It's really, really special to be able to let kids be kids and to feel celebrated and to feel special and to grow up, regardless of the hunger that their family might be facing or any struggles in their family. Kids deserve to be kids.
And SEEP is accepting birthday supplies and financial donations to help keep the birthday program going.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
The Champlin Park girls lacrosse team advanced to the state tournament for the first time since 2015. Jay Wilcox profiles the Rebels in our final CCX Sports Spotlight of the 2022-23 school year.
While they didn't get the outcome they were looking for in the state tournament, it was a special season for Champlin Park girls lacrosse. The Rebels qualified for state for the first time since 2015, beating Centennial in the Section 7 final in one of their best performances of the season. They could see it coming with this group developing.
I've been playing with these girls for so long, and each year we just keep getting better because we know each other's chemistry, and it just feels like we're connecting more and more.
It's been really cool to see how good we've gotten through even since dome training this winter, and just seeing us grow as a team like throughout practices. It's been really nice, and taking on like better teams such as Centennial too. I think it's really cool to see how we've improved on mistakes we've made in the past and have made it this far.
It's very, very exciting. It's not something we've done for a long time. My sister played before me, and it was never anything that she could do. So we're just very proud that we were able to be the team to finally get this done.
We have a huge group of juniors, and a lot of these girls have been playing lacrosse since they were 12 years old. I started coaching a bunch of them at that age when they were still in the youth program, and here they are now.
For 2 of the captains, it was a little extra special because they could share it with family members. Junior Annabelle Johnson's father, Jeff, is the Rebels' head coach, while senior Megan Peters' father, Brian, is an assistant.
It's so special having my dad as a coach. Like having him coach almost every sport I've played, it's something not most kids get to brag about.
It can be nice. I get a lot of coaching at home though as well, so I'm always getting random tips, which is helpful to improve my game. But it's a very different experience than probably a lot of people have, but I enjoy it.
There's a very special bond there. I think, it can be interesting. You always hear some stories where, sometimes coaching your own kid can be tricky. My kid is super respectful. She always does, what I'm asking of her as her coach. Try to separate that difference between coach and dad when we're on the field. And
as we spoke with the Rebels prior to the tournament, they knew that facing the tough competition that state would bring will only help the team going forward.
We're very excited to play some new teams that we just haven't seen before. A lot of the southern teams have D1 girls, so we're excited to see how we match up against that and to get challenged a little bit more.
To be part of the top 8 teams in the state, to win our sections, it's, we had our banquet last night, and I just said there it was an honor to be part of that elite group of teams. And the southern part of the state, a lot of those teams have had a jump on us for a lot of years. I feel like we're closing that gap slowly.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good for our team to experience better teams that we haven't faced yet, and especially since our section got switched. I think it'll be really nice to have a little bit of preparedness for next season as well.
As Lauren mentioned, Champlin Park will be in a new playoff section next season as they move into the tougher Section 5. But it's a Rebels program that should be very competitive next season, too.
Yeah, the future is definitely bright. I mean, as far as our team goes, we'll lose Megan. She's our one starting senior on our team. But as we transition into next year, I mean, we're bringing back this whole crew. There'll probably be some additional ads coming up from the JV as well. So, I think it is really bright, especially for next season. I think it'll be fun to see how we do at state, see what we need to improve on. And as we transition into next year, we can say, okay, here's where we're at, here's where we need to get to.
For the CCX Sports Spotlight, I'm Jay Wilcox.
After losing to Edina in the state quarterfinals, Champlin Park was defeated by Eastridge 11-7 in the consolation semifinals Thursday. They finished with a 15-4 record. That's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.